Hey guys, it is Aubrey from Muttley Plans. I hope everybody is having a good day today. I know I've actually had a pretty decent start to my week. It is Monday, the 8th of September. It's been right at or just under a month of me having gone back at almost full-time, 3/4 time back to college. I am pursuing prereqs in order to get into physician assistant school eventually. I'm taking it slow because I'm old, but also because I want to make sure that I make the grades that will make me competitive in the PA school setting. So anyway, a couple weeks ago, I think now, I actually did a little show and tell, if you will, of this bullet journal. I did decide for my notes and everything that I would have a bullet journal system, because that way I could make it whatever I needed it to be at any given point in time. As you can see, I also put a few stickers here. This one, it's fine, I'm fine, everything is fine, came from my own personal sticker stash. And then this beauty, I actually found on campus at the library. They just had a bunch of these stickers all over a table at the library during the first week. And I saw this one, and I one day hope that I'll be able to have a chameleon. And so I just thought it was so cute. I like chameleons. So, but anyway, I wanted to show y'all what this looked like after the pin. And also how between August to now it's September, going into the second week of September, how my setup has kind of evolved or changed, even in the short span that I've had it. So this, I do handwrite quite a few of my notes. And so as you can see, I've already in like almost a month filled up half of this journal. So I have a feeling I will have to break in. I do have a backup journal. It's this same one, just in a light gray. It is right here, actually. So I will probably wind up having to put this semester into 2 journals, which I am totally fine with. I don't mind it. So anyway, let me set that one to the side. So my goal in this journal was to pretty much make it all about school. I do have a washi tape dashboard. One of my deals, let me make sure I have this in perfect. I'm always worried about not being on camera or shaking it and stuff. Anyway, so all of these washies that you see here on this dashboard are washies that I have used in my setups of this journal. I do stick things in here from time to time from class, just for me to remember. So then we get into this first page. I did add a couple of sticky notes, which I have used quite a bit, actually. And I actually, all I do is I literally take a few, you've probably done this before too, and I just stick it in there. And then while I'm in class, if I need to make a quick note, I do that. I have not kept up with my assignments as far as logging them in here. I have kept up with them as far as turning them in and doing them. But yeah, that was kind of a flunk, but I really don't know what else I would use these pages for, truthfully. So I don't know. I did go and add, like, there's some more stickers that I picked up, and like a little library card thing. I don't know if you can see it. And so I had this like vellum envelope that was just kind of laying around. And I just took my little tape runner, sticky tape runner, I guess, and put some of the sticky on it and popped it in here, and now I have a nice little envelope that I can stash stickers or anything else that I would like in there. I also made the decision at the beginning of this semester that I would pick an inspirational quote of some sort to put in the beginning of every month. I am relatively nervous about some of the classes that I have to take, and so that is why I put these quotes in. Plus, I never know what to put at the very first page of anything, like whether it's the first page of the month, the first page of the year, anything. And so I was like, let me just slap down some stickers and then put in a quote that caught my eye. And for the month of August, this is the quote that caught my eye. It says, confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about knowing you're worthy even when you're still growing. So, and then that flips right into, which you've already seen this. Okay. And I actually need to move this. But you've already seen this setup. So I found out that my general chemistry lab doesn't start until the 15th of September. Something that I realized in the month of August, right, was that I didn't really need this spread right here, this do spread. Like, at the beginning, I was super concerned that, like, I was going to mess up, I was going to miss an assignment, I was going to do something that would just, like, irreparably harm my grade. Luckily, that hasn't happened yet. But anyway, so I wanted to make sure that I knew what I had coming up. And as you can see, I didn't really use it a whole lot. I used it for 2 assignments, right? When I really had like 3-ish assignments. And so I found that when I went to make my September, I just didn't add this into it. But I will say, I really liked this setup and just how it looked, like the colors. I love these stickers. 10 out of 10 for me. I also really liked how this small, like having this smaller calendar worked out for me. And as you can see, I literally kept it to, you know, the bare minimum, like what do I have to do, which I did have some work that I had to do. And then of course I did track my classes and class times for this month, which you'll see now that I'm a few weeks in, almost a month into school. That's definitely changed. I do not put that on my next calendar, but it was something that I really needed. So I did a brain dump page in the month of August that did not get carried over into September. But as you can see, I have random sticky notes. I don't even remember what that one's for. I also went ahead and put my class schedule, which is in the pinkish colors, and then my husband's class schedule as well, just to kind of remind myself, you know, one, where are his classes, you know, as far as times, expecting him home. Like today's Monday, I know I shouldn't expect a call or him to be home before 5, and he shouldn't be home until 5:30. I like knowing that way I'm not always like looking at my watch like, oh my gosh, when's he gonna be? I like to know stuff like that. And same thing for, you know, all of this. All right, meals. So that's another thing that didn't get carried over into my September setup, was meals. I did actually keep up with this, but I found like, I do sandwiches for lunch. And so I didn't really need that. I also, again, did like, my class schedule here, and it's just like a little flap there. And then I also did week 1 classwork. This one I did kind of sort of keep up, and I put little notes because the professors, of course, on day 1 are like, you need to make sure that you do X, Y, and Z. And yeah, so I went ahead and put that. I didn't do this in September though, because I don't feel like I need this. Moving on, so I color coded first off, and as you can tell, I did waterfall tabs. So biology was all purple, and then anything chemistry was blue, specifically this smoky blue. It was the smoky blue mild liner, and then the violet mild liner. And as you can see, I just did a tab. So in the past, I have had 1 book per course or per class. And I found that for 1 class, usually I have 1 class that is super note heavy, which is biology for me, for sure. And then I have another class like chemistry, which I'll have some notes that I need to take down and everything, especially in the beginning. Let me get that out of the way, and then I'll also have some exercises that I need to work on and everything, but it's not near as writing heavy as, let's say, my biology. And so I decided to just go ahead and combine them. And of course, you always run into, but how do I tab which one is which in a journal, And so I found, hey, I won't write past, and I'll go to an empty page, past the last 3 on my journal, and last 3 bullets, and then I will just do kind of a waterfall tab situation where, okay, I did this much on chemistry, but now I need to switch over to biology, and so I can pull this tab and boom, biology. And I know that this is going to be lecture 1, chapter 1 notes, stuff like that. And so I found that it hasn't been very confusing for me at all to have these tabs and know where I'm at. What I'm very interested in this upcoming month, because I'll have my first exam, what I'll be interested in is like, I'm contemplating switching the colors mid-month, especially for my biology, just to show that, hey, there's a different, this content that I'm now learning is going towards a different test, if that makes sense. So like in my mind, the biology that is purple and pink goes towards test 1, but then, maybe the biology that's green and orange goes towards test 2, if that makes sense. So I'm contemplating that. I haven't fully sussed that out. It'll probably be trial and error for me. I also, biology again is very much memorization heavy. And so in my notes, I made sure to make my definitions stand out quite a bit. And I put these little washi tape dots. I think I got them from Temu. I've had them for years, but yeah, there they are. And I'm just picking a color and we're rolling with it. And as you can tell, red does not go with purple, but I wanted something that was going to stand out. Blue wasn't going to cut it, and so here we are having red. And then also I make a weekly, so I draw up a quick weekly. This one's a little bit cuter than others, but this one I did do a little bit more deco, and then I made these cute hexagons. But the main thing is I tab them, so I've got my week 2, and then on the back of this chemistry I've got my week 1. So I know all of this right here was all that I did in week 1, and then all of this was all that I did in week 2. And I just continued my notes and stuff. I take notes during class on my Samsung tablet, and then I will transfer them that evening or the next day into this book. I found that helps quite a bit. And then all of these biology notes, I actually take them straight from the presentation. So that's why there are a ton. But I find that if I can reduce it into my words, my color, and stuff, and make it pretty, I'm more likely to revisit it. And then also when I have to draw things, I find that I am more likely to retain that information. I've actually really enjoyed this. It's given me a reason to use all of the fountain pens and all of the fountain pen ink. Like, oh my goodness, this is Birmingham Penco Megalodon. Oh, I fell in love with this ink having to use it for my biology. And so, yeah, and obviously molecules still needs a definition there. Actually, I need to go back and mark those in with red, so I'll have to do that after this video. But anyway, so these are my notes and everything. And then of course you've got chemistry, which for chemistry and any math class that I'll have in the future, I just did my regular black ink. This has Noodler's American Eel in it. And I just wrote out the question, but then I worked the question in pencil. That way, when I get ready to study for my exam, all I have to do, I already have my study sheet in my book, and I can just go in. I have a big old eraser, and I'll just go in and I will erase all of this, and then boom, I have my study questions, and they're in the form that my chemistry professor gives us. And so it works out. It's on the off chance that he doesn't give us a study sheet for the exam. So then you move into September. I left it as a long month. As you can see, it's different, right? It's a lot more reduced than what I thought I was going to need in the beginning. And then I went ahead and put my quote here, which the quote for the month of September is, "There's really not a difficult thing unless you decide it's a difficult thing. Otherwise, it's just the next thing you're figuring out." And that is so true about me and chemistry. So things that I did differently. One, you'll notice I don't do my schedule, or at least for this month, I didn't put like when my class times are or anything. But I still have my color codes for my different classes. But I did put in, and I actually did this, actually I did both of these. So see, I haven't even come back to this yet. So I put in, you know, my assignments that I have due and when. And then while I was plugging in when my assignments are due, I took into account things like these 2 assignments aren't due until Tuesday of this week, but I know myself. I'm going on a trip with my husband the 26th, and we'll get back the 28th. I'm not gonna want to do nothing. And so, pardon me, and so I want to go ahead and make sure that I have all of my assignments completed so that I don't have anything to worry about this weekend that I'm gone, and I can just enjoy that weekend with my husband. And so that's what I did. I also went ahead and put in when I'm working, because that also is important for me to know, because like this past weekend, the 5th through the 6th, I worked 31 hours just on these 2 days, right? So between these 2 days, I put in 31 hours of work. I did not study at all Friday and Saturday. So I wanted to make sure that I added those in. That way it was on my radar that I wouldn't be really able to study because of the time I would be spending working on these 2 days. And it worked out really well because I knew mentally going into Sunday that I would need to study, and I did. And so that was really good. Now, some of this has definitely kind of been switched around a little bit just because of technical difficulties. The professor has pushed some timelines forward and whatnot. But overall, this has given me a good way to look and then plan and look at, hey, what do I have this month and what is my capacity to study and get my assignments done? So I've really appreciated that and enjoyed also just creating this. And I made it really, really easy for me by going ahead and making this marked up page that tells me, hey, this is how many boxes I have to get to 7 on a full length page. This is how many to get to 7 this way. And as you can see, I marked it up a few different ways. And that's been very helpful because I just, when I go to make this, flip to the back, okay, I need to put this many boxes per day to get my monthly calendar, and it does wonderful. I also put a little key on some scrap paper for me. I left some room to grow. Just to kind of help me out, because one thing I've learned about myself this year, and I should have known, but I didn't, but it's that I like my color codes to change every month. Like I don't want to look at blue and purple for the rest of the semester. This month I wanted to look at pink, brown, and whatnot. So that's what I did. And so, yeah, it's important to me to have a key, at least for the first week. That way I don't get anything mixed up. And then I also did leave this as a long page so I can see when I open my book, September's here, and it's like, okay, well, let's just flip to September. Boom, we're there. Additionally, what I've been doing, and this is what I removed earlier, is I just slide that on there. It's a little, I guess, page marker or something, but oh, and I guess I did do the mills. Wow, did not do that this week. Did not do it. Anyway, but yeah, I've really enjoyed this and using it. I think it works really good for me being in school. Looks like I did actually do my meals. I did not remember or do it this week. What this little paper right here is I have a sticker that's random. Come off. So I save any of my papers that I don't use. I think this came from my old Sweet Freckled Designs paper. It's Tomoe River paper. And I was like, I go to school, or no, I'm sorry. This is for the week, right? So I know for the month of September, that week 3, 4, 5, and 6 of school are going to be in the month of September. And so I cut out 4 of these, flipped it around, and then boom, I have a quick and easy setup for my meals. And like I said, I forgot I even had this, have not used it this week. So I don't know if I'll keep up with it. We'll see how weeks 5 and 6 go. It is only Monday, so I could go and fill it because I do know that I'm going to do sandwiches and crackers. But anyway, that's a future me problem. I did do a little bit of decor for week 3, and I just marked in stuff that I needed to do, things that I wanted to do and get done. And I actually have not done those or that one. So these notes here are just kind of things, goals, if you will. So I wanted to go ahead and have my flashcards done for bio by the end of last week, but Friday and Saturday was a lot more than I thought I was going to have, and it just didn't happen. And so now I can look back and be like, oh, I need to make those. But I did get all of my things that had hard due dates done. And so I'm pretty happy about that. I did leave these also as full-length papers. And so then you go straight into my first set of biology notes. And again, this has really been a really good way for me, or I feel like, to be able to marry the things that I love, which is, hey, I love writing with my fountain pens, and yeah, journaling, getting to color code things, getting to do a little bit of drawing, kind of make it as fun as possible for myself. And so that is what I do. And then I also pop in a few random magazine clippings here and there. But as you can see, these are this is how it's shaping up and looking. You might find random stickers. I might put those in here and there. But overall, like, I'm trying really hard to keep this a very functional layout, and I think overall I have actually succeeded in that. And I'm actually going to just go ahead. So to get these curved edges on these shortened pages, I use this little corner rounder right here that I got from Amazon. It works well. And yeah, that's pretty much what I do. I have not started, like, today is Monday. I have not quite started on this week's notes yet. And also, that's something I might touch on as well, is that you'll notice that while in my other planners they have a Monday start, in this one I've decided that for any weeklies or anything, it's going to have a Sunday start. And that's just because I want Sunday to be the beginning of the week for me. When it comes to school, I want Sunday to be like, okay, if I took Saturday off, Sunday is my reset day. And it's the day that I'm going to brush up and review stuff that I need, and then I'll be able to go into Monday onto the next week more prepared. As you can see, this is definitely very pared down. I may add a little bit more, but I'm actually liking the simplicity of this spread this week, so I probably won't add a ton more other than maybe having just this running to-do list here. And that's pretty much, that's it. That's what I've got right now. When I am doing notes away from home where I don't really have scissors or anything, I just real quick take my, whatever this thing is, and I will run a pencil line down. That way, I know, hey, don't go past this line, and I'll do it for the next few pages and just do it as I use them type deal. So, but yeah, that is all I really wanted to show y'all. I know that for the most part, I do not do bullet journaling or anything on this channel. I'm definitely a Sterling ink, pre-made planner gal, but this really has worked quite well for me. Yeah, it's worked really well, and so I wanted to share it with y'all just in case any of y'all are in school or are taking just a course of some sort and you want a way to take your notes or anything like that. But anyway, hope you liked it. If you did, maybe consider liking this video. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. I will probably show this to you again just because I'm just enjoying it. And so I want to share it with y'all and like create a conversation around it and about it. But anyway, yeah, let me know, like, how do you keep notes and stuff in school, whether you're out of school or you're in the thick of it as well. Let me know. Have a good day. Bye.